that was going to happen um, between Tyson Fury and um, Anthony Joshua. It's not going to happen now because um, the arbitration went the way of Wilder. So now Deontay Wilder is going to, Tyson Fury, they refused to pay Deontay Wilder uh, $20 million, which is what he wanted for a step aside fee. And so they're going to fight him. And then I, yeah, people say I suck at predictions, and sometimes I believe so. But uh, this fight is going to go Tyson Fury's way. It's Tyson Fury's got Deontay Wilder's number. When somebody, you know, and people say, "Oh, now he's got a new trainer." It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because yeah, when they were interviewing, they were asking Mark Breland, the who was the boxer who was Wilder's um, trainer for years. They said he had become untrainable. If you listen to Wilder talking, he's delusional. True, it's he's started to sound like Donald Trump. Crazy, really crazy stuff. A bunch of made up shit, um, and you know, all kinds of conspiracy theories and all this crazy shit. Um, you know, I think he was even saying that he won the fight, yeah, or something like that. I didn't even pay attention. I stopped, so maybe he got hit one time too many, but I've seen the training videos and stuff, and here's the reality, when Deontay Wilder and many fighters, you know, when they get into trouble and they get hit, uh, their technique goes out the window and they go into survival mode or fight or flee mode. And yes, he's a warrior. He'll stand there. He won't quit, Deontay Wilder. But, you'll see him swinging wild. And you can't do that. You can't, and at that professional level, at that level of competition, you can't go wild because the other guy, when he knows that you lost your cool, your, your head, and you're just being wild, he'll just wait for you. Keep his wits about him, keep his composure, and he'll clock you and between those wild punches and hurt you. That's why they say don't lose your cool, even though you're getting punched in the face. It's hard to do. But people say, oh, Tyson Fury is out of shape and all this stuff. Listen, this guy's been flabby his entire life. He's never been sculpted. That's his body type. That's some people the same thing they said about Ruiz. It's like, look at this fat guy. Ruiz knocked out Anthony Joshua. He took him to school, clubbered him, mauled him, and he was fat. So in the second fight, Ruiz, barely trained, and Andy Ruiz Jr. barely trained, and even then, all Joshua did the second fight was run, absolutely run. It was shameful. I made a video about that. You gonna run from a guy? He was scared his entire fight, and all he did was take little shots here and there and run the entire fight. Um, I think what's going to happen is that Tyson Fury is going to, you know, box him from the outside, and give him angles, and now he knows how Wilder fights already. He's got his number, so he's just going to wait for him, and he's going to hurt him even worse because he's it's like they have rules in bullfighting. They don't let the same bull face the same guy. because bulls get keeps doing this shit is done is they don't let the bulls fight the same bullfighter because it's the bullfighter the bull learns how get smarter and then it's a survival mechanism. So after you fought somebody, it's like when um what's this fighter Shane Mosley fought this guy, I forget his name, he's dead, he died in a robbery. Vernon Forrest. Vernon Forrest had Shane Mosley's number, and I think they fought a couple of times, and Shane just could not shake him. Some people they just have your number, and unless you do a complete rearrangement of your fighting style, and very few people are able to do that. And when I'm talking very few fighters can do that, I mean very few fighters can actually change their style to accommodate for people who have your number. So and Wilder's not one of them. I'm sorry. He punches like a mule and the whole 9 yards. And people think that Tyson Fury is just gonna get in there out of shape. He's been training. He was training for Joshua, and you look at a video and you see the flob around his. Don't let that fool you, man. Don't let that flobby, that muffin top around his waist fool you. That's a big boat, and he can fight. For a man of that size, and he can move inside the ring, and he can take a punch. He can give you angles, and he can punch. Uh, Tyson Fury is not a joke. He truly is a force to be reckoned with. If if and when he fights Anthony Joshua, he will clean Anthony Joshua's clock. Anthony Joshua's got great boxing skills, speed, and he's got power and stuff like that, but it's not monstrous power. It's not Wilder power. If Wilder had the skills, the boxing skills that Joshua has, then we will be talking something, Ali, something like that. But he doesn't, And yes, he's good, and he's gotten better through time, Wilder. But you know, he's gonna get, it's gonna be another stoppage, because he is not, even though he's been training and training and all this stuff, and Wilder, he always comes very well trained. That's one thing that he's known for. He's got tremendous shape. He's works hard and all that stuff. But you know, it's not happening. It's just I don't see it happening. Bar maybe a monstrous right hand or something like that from Wilder. I don't see I don't see how Wilder is going to be able to beat Tyson Fury. And Wilder's, I mean, Tyson Fury has been hit by monsters. The whole 9 yards. No, it's going to be Tyson Fury all night long, and then Tyson Fury is going to take Joshua to the cleaners. It's just going to fuck him up. Uh, Tyson Fury is the man right now in that division. Who's out there in that division that um, Usyk is, yeah, he's really good, but he doesn't have the power. So whoever he faces, he's Usyk, Alexander Usyk, he's gonna face Joshua, and believe it or not, if I think Usyk will outpoint him, because I've seen Usyk. He can take a punch, and he's really slippery. He fought Joe Joyce, and I saw the fight, and there's this other kid that's coming up in the ranks, and I think he fought Joe Joyce. Um, he fought Joe Joyce, and it was a close fight. It was a split decision. I forget the kid's name, but he's an up and comer, a really young cat from Eastern Europe, I believe. So yeah, it's interesting, And the monster who I think is the upcoming monster, Effie Ajagba. Effie Ajagba is truly a monster. Effie Ajagba. So pay attention to those guys. But right now, Tyson Fury is the man. Tyson Fury. It's coming.